Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and I wanted to talk you through how I vibe code with Claude to move some Docker files over to Chainguard Containers. So this is Chainguard Academy. This is the docs and tutorial site for Chainguard, and we have a lot of resources here, and we've done a bunch of optimizations recently to make it easier to use with your AI coding assistant of choice. I don't know if you are like me, where you're getting very excited about, the dopamine rush of vibe coding. So here I'm going to show you a feature that we have that makes it pretty quick to start using an AI assistant right away with Chainguard Academy. So there's a button on each of our tutorials that allows you to copy the Markdown into your LLM coding assistant. I click on this button. This is the Getting Started with the Python Chainguard Container tutorial. I'm going to show how I migrate to the Python Chainguard Container. And this is a small feature, but there's a lot of other optimizations that are done to help AI ingest the Chainguard Academy. So there's lots of signposts to help AI and lots of endpoints and other fun AIEO things to really help you with anything you want to do with Chainguard. So this one is a pretty straightforward one that I just wanted to demonstrate really quickly for you. So I went ahead and copied that button. Claude is my AI assistant of choice, so I go ahead and open up Claude code, and I ask Claude to please help me migrate the current Docker file, which is a Python Slim Docker file, to a Chainguard container. I want this to be a net new Docker file. I wanted to use a multi-stage build, and I explain it a little bit, and then I paste in the tutorial that can help with this. Claude goes forward, starts computing, and he says he'll help me, which I'm so grateful to Claude for helping with this. And he's going to do what I asked for and make this multi-stage build. And so he's very fast, which we love to see. And I just want to check his work a little bit. So we see that it's coming from the Chainguard Python latest dev, which is perfect as the builder, and then the latest as the final image, and that one will reduce our attack surface quite a lot by not having anything in there that we don't need for production. So Claude tells us that he created a new Docker file. He tells me some of the security improvements and tells me how to build and run, but I'm like, cool, Claude, but could you do that for me? And he says, of course I'll do it. So he goes ahead and builds and runs this container. So what I'm trying to do here is just to make sure that everything looks right, that it's still building that haiku generator Python app that I have in that Python Slim Docker file. It looks good. We have this output that's running the container, so perfect. Now Claude tells us some of the security benefits that we moved over, which is really awesome, and I love to see that. And I ask, I want to make sure. Claude says that there's reduced CVEs. Let's take a look at that. So Gripe is a scanner that we could use to scan both the original Python Slim and this Chainguard one. So Claude will go ahead and scan those. Gripe is something that we use at Chainguard also. It helps us make sure that we have low CVE counts. So now Claude is using Gripe to scan that first Docker file container image for us. And we see that we get some output. There's 97 lines of output. He just shows us the first few lines. And now he goes ahead and scans the Chainguard container with Gripe. And now we see that there are no vulnerabilities found in the Chainguard container, that's great. So now Claude is going to put this information into a table for our feeble human brains to kind of grok this. And he's going to compare the vulnerability results for us, which is so helpful. Awesome. So we see here the output of the original Python 3.12 Slim container. There's 46 vulnerabilities, some high and medium. With Chainguard container, there are no vulnerabilities found. And Claude tells me that the Chainguard container provides a significantly better security posture. And I say, this is amazing. And then Claude tells me that my haiku generator is now running with enterprise grade security, which is so important for haiku generators. And I'm very polite to Claude. I know it's controversial being polite or, being a little mean to your AI coding assistants. In the off chance that there is some kind of AI robo apocalypse, I think it's kind of nice to be kind. When you keep engaging with Claude, you get some more input, and Claude tells us that he would be very happy to help me migrate to a more secure container setup. So if I have containers that are not just haiku generators, I could take advantage of the enterprise grade security from Chainguard Containers. He tells me to enjoy my vulnerability free haiku generator. So I hope that you saw how I think about using a coding assistant to migrate to Chainguard Containers. I think the multi-stage build is worth it, and with a friend like Claude, it makes it quite fast and I think a lower barrier to get that done, and to kind of to see what you could get from that lower attack surface of the final distroless container image. Thank you so much.